One thing I've noticed about myself is I always say, I can't. Like, I always say that to myself for everything. I'm like, I can't. And then now I'm trying to like reframe it, right? So every time I say that to myself, I'll go, I can. And I'll like drill that into my head. And I just did that, and so I decided to start recording an audio about it. Welcome back to another podcast episode. I'm your host. My name is Seema, and we are going to dive into the musings of my mind at like freaking 11:45 p.m. Briefly. But I have noticed that when I say words out loud, they actually contribute to like my overall life. Like I coach on this, right? And so I've seen it. Like I've seen it with myself, I've seen it with clients, I've seen it with people that I work with, I've seen it with my family, I've seen it with friends. Like whatever you say will come true, and it's scary. It's jarring because the way that it happens is indirect, like it's so interesting how we manifest. I hate that word, by the way, like completely. It's so interesting how we create things, because we will just be thinking of something briefly and it'll register in the subconscious, and then it'll come to fruition like in a day, in 2 days, even in a year or in a few years. Like I've had thoughts that come true years later, and I'm like, it's weird. I feel as though when we let go of the outcome of certain situations, they manifest in the most unexpected ways. And so I've seen the power of the subconscious mind, and I've seen how when we use words that, when we use any words, they actually come true. So when we say I can't, like we really can't, like I've drilled myself into anxiety ridden states where I was not able to perform in certain environments like as best as I could have, because I was saying I can't in my head, and it attributed to more anxiety. But and the opposite is true as well. So if you say you can't, or if you say you can, you're right. Either way, you're correct, because we decide how we create as we go, moment by moment. And it's freaky. I actually was just speaking to my friend about this, and I was having a little bit of an anxiety attack, or whatever you want to call it. And she was like, she was telling me like, Seema, you know what to do, like how to reframe things and everything. So don't let the mind like run your mind, And so I was like, you're right. And so we did affirmations and stuff together, and like that's what works, when you actually get above your mind and you start saying things like, I'm okay, I can do it, I am much bigger than this situation, I can create anything I want from this situation, anything I can see in my imagination can come true. Like when you start saying these things to yourself, they actually work. And the opposite works as well. So that's why it's important to be cognizant of your inner dialogue, just understand kind of what you're saying to yourself all the time. I used to treat myself pretty poorly, and I used to say things to myself that were reflective of my own unhealed state at the time. Like for example, I would say things like, I could never do that, or that would never happen to me, or I could never look like that, or anything like that. And ultimately I realized I did it for so long, and I did it so strongly and intensely too. Like, people don't understand. We are walking batteries. I've said this before. We have the ability to procure or create any situation with the power of our emotions. Emotions are what causes things to happen. And I know that sounds insane. But it's because emotions are thought backed with supercharged feeling, and so they carry a certain power to them. That's why if you really want to create or manifest something, you do it with emotion. That's kind of like the secret, So let's say you are really angry. Just an example, you're angry, you're distraught, you're upset. You're going to manifest that state of being within your body. So you will create discord, unrest, disease, right? Disease within your body, due to these emotions that you are ruminating within. And like, this is the truth about all disease that happens in the body. You could be 50, and if you're not letting go of grudges that you had when you were 30 or 25, like, you're going to see arthritis, you're going to see clots in the blood, you're going to see stiffness of joints, you're going to see just various problems. A shocked nervous system is what it is, because our emotions exist within our house, within our home, within our body, our temple, and like they manifest in different ways. You can use the emotion of joy and love and forgiveness and acceptance and radiance, friendship, purity, innocence, childlikeness. Like, you can use these emotions as well. You could decide, to like use these emotions or be in these emotions. And you can decide to forgive. You can decide to let go of grudges, right? And so what happens if you're in these emotions on the flip side is you start to manifest youth. You will look younger. You will feel younger in your body. You may even change your style. And one thing about me specifically is that I dopamine dress. So this is something that I do. So I maybe own like 2 black objects of clothing. Like, that's it, just because it's a personal preference to wear color, and it helps my vibration. It helps it's just, it reflects my personality as well. And even if I'm like in a negative mood or what have you, I will change like my clothes. Like, I do these things to reset my energy as well. That's kind of a different practice I'm just getting into now, but it's possible to do energy resets like my friend and I were doing over the phone, wherein you just recite affirmations to energy reset. You can change your clothes while doing that. You can go outside. You can close all the apps on your phone. I shower sometimes as well. I shower a lot, like more than the average person, but there's a reason for it. And that's because it helps to balance out my energy as well. So yeah, those are some reset techniques. Another reset technique is singing, or like even self-soothing touch, hugging yourself. These things are important because nobody teaches you as a child that you can heal yourself from the ground up, like from anything. Like, every single thing that happens to us in our life requires healing. Honestly, breakup, you need to heal. PTSD, you need to heal. Lost a job, you need to heal. Left a job, you need to heal. Like, life changes require healing, and so it's good to know certain techniques sooner rather than later, so you can implement them and be your own caretaker, your own parent, your own doctor, your own best friend, because we are with ourselves for the entire duration of our lives, right? And if you want to communicate with universe God, that's kind of a step up of what I'm discussing here. But what I'm talking about right now are practical self-soothing techniques. And tapping into the God state, or tapping into God, is the next step, But first, you want to make sure you're on your own side. Prayer is a good way to also reset. It's a practical approach. Prayer is often misconstrued as just being a spiritual approach, but you have to understand that everything is spiritual. Everything practical is spiritual, and everything spiritual is practical. There's like no difference, really. And science is the most spiritual thing, because science allows for us to prove spiritual topics concisely, or to articulate them well. Science is like, if you know science, you're good. Like, you know it all, essentially, because within science are the basic fundamental formulas for all of creation. And science is very broad as well. But yeah. So anything else that I wanted to discuss briefly about self-help techniques? I think that's pretty much it. I also find that creating really helps. Like, if you're in a funk, if you're feeling depresso espresso, you want to create something. So create a video, film a video, write something, like write a tweet. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like anything to just prove to yourself that you are a creative being, and that you are a being of creation, and that you are loved by creation, and that you are love. Like, it's important to recognize this in all that you do. For example, creating has saved my life, for example. No, but creating has saved my life on multiple occasions, like, with my YouTube channel and, like, the things that I do. I create videos, right? And I also create audios. So these things, and I write as well. So these things have saved me over and over and over again. Like, whenever I'm feeling low, I'll just, in order to rebalance, I create something, and then I feel whole again. I feel complete, I feel restored, And so, like, we should never undermine the fact that we are creative beings, and we need to be exercising our creative potential at all times, or else life gets really down bad, you know what I mean? But you can create anything. You can create outfits for yourself as well. I love to do that. You can create like beautiful conversation, discourse, a speech, a song as well, poetry, a poem, but yeah, we're creative beings. You can create makeup, like you could do makeup art and whatnot. You can even create magic. Do you know this? We're always creating magic. But in a more concise sense, if you're ever feeling down, this is a little tip that I'll give you that I do. So if you're ever feeling down, you can light a candle, light some incense, and speak out loud what you want. Do not be afraid to speak for what you want. So I have an altar that I'll literally go to, and I recommend everybody has an altar. It could be anything. You can have a banana on there, like anything, just some place where you sit to gather your thoughts. And you can go there and you can say what you want. Say things like out loud, because sound is the vibratory transportational force of energy in Kali Yuga. Like, in the current day and age that we live in, sound is the way to get it across, etherically, materially, in all ways, So if I'm ever feeling low, I'll go to my little space, I'll light a candle maybe, and I'll say, God help me. Like, I say that all the time. Like, no cap. That's probably the thing that I say the most. I'm like, God help me. Like, it's so generic, so broad, but he gets it, he gets the message. So I'll say that. I'll say, God help me, and then I'll go more into detail. Please help calm down my anxiety, get rid of my anxiety, be with me, hug me. Like, I say these things. I'm like, hug me, like, be with me right now. I need you. And he will, and he'll make everything, like, very comfortable for you if you just seek his shelter. Like, it's crazy. I've had so many instances where, like, I'm having a hard time or a hard day, and I'm kind of with him in my thoughts, and then I'll get cookies or, like, someone will buy me something, or I'll get money, like, randomly, or I will, do you know what I mean? Or I'll see something that makes me happy, or a bird will just come sit on my head. I don't know. That's happened before. Like, actually, because I live in a pretty, like, hilly area, so there's, like, all types of individuals out here. We have turkeys, we have raccoons, we have birds, we have squirrels. I have, like, 10 squirrels around me at all times. But yeah. So, anyway. So, like, my point is that if you're ever feeling low, you want to ask for what you want. So these things are generic forms of asking, but your word is quite literally your wand, okay? It's your magic power. So you will say things like this: God, I give thanks. Or you don't have to say God, it's up to you. But this is an affirmation you can use, and I posted about this on my Instagram as well. You can make this affirmation: Infinite Spirit, thank you for my abundant health, you know? I'm so happy that I'm healthy enough to do XYZ. I'm so happy that I feel better in my body about this thing. I'm so happy this ailment is gone. Thank you. Like, that's the way, guys. You want to do future tense. And they say third person, but I go by first person. You could, I do both as well, but you can do anything you want. So, like, you can say, like, third person will be, thank you, God, for Seema's abundant life. You know what I mean? You could say that for sure. You could say, thank you, God, for my my divinely guided friend, or my divinely planned friend. Thank you, God, for the perfect friend that has just entered into my life. I'm so appreciative. You could say that. You could say, thank you, God, for the anything you want, so yeah, that's something you can do. Another thing you can do is bless your water and your food. Not sure why I'm going mystic on you guys, but here we are. You bless your water and your food, so before you drink it, you could say freaking anything you want to it, man. Like, you could just say, like, $3 million and then drink it. Like, why don't we do this? You know what I mean? Like, we should be doing this. You could say, I don't know, whatever you want. You could say social media fame, and you could drink your water, if you want that. I haven't done that yet. Maybe I should, probably, because I'm posting on social media. I probably should, but, I've been also working through, like, being okay being seen. That's a personal reflection I'm going to share with you now. I've been working through being okay with being seen, and I've been working on it for a while, because naturally I'm quite shy, which is interesting because you wouldn't think it, but that's just how it is. So yeah. Before you eat your food, you could say, thank you, God, for this bounty baby of of different flavors that are about to enter my my mouth and my mind and my consciousness. Whatever you want. I don't know, I'm just throwing out ideas and I'm yapping at this point, but anything you want. But if you're going to use your word to complain, if you're going to use your mental energy to complain, why is this happening to me? Why does this? It's going to keep happening to you because you have claimed it as being your reality. Every moment you can recreate who you are, you can recreate your reality. Like, do you guys understand that the most favorable position to be in is that of a chameleon? You have to be able to slither. Do they slither? No. What do? They just walk, right? I'm not sure. But, oh no, they changed color. Thank you so much. Seema, you're so smart. All of this, and you couldn't understand that right off the bat. They crawl or something, I believe. And then they change color. Yeah, yurt. So it pays to be able to change color in different environments, and to pick up information from different environments as well, and to add that to your plethora of identity, because then you could be for surely a freak of nature in a way. You can have many talents, skills, and abilities that you can indulge within. Like, it's such a sexy life when you can have fun with your own self and your own mind and creativity and creative faculties, skill sets, and abilities, Like, every time I sing, I'm like, shit. Like, that was cool, Like, I like it. It's fun. It feels good on my body. It feels good on my my like sinuses and my skull, Like, singing is really healing. I enjoy running. Running feels very good. I get into my masculine when I run, and I love it a lot. Also, what else? writing is fun because I'll write something and I'll post it and I'll think, man, I'm doing this for the people that I love, you know? I don't know. When I write from my heart. Or when I record a podcast, like, I'll think that was such a good speech, you know? Like, I loved that. It's just fun to dive into your own self and to express yourself fully in all of your faculties, because we are multidimensional beings. Like, do you understand that you can get paid for your writing, you can get paid for your podcasting, you can get paid for your speaking, you can get paid for singing? People don't think it's possible. You know what I mean? But everybody is being discovered on social media every day. If you have a talent, you better put it out there. And you better do it sooner than I did it, because it took me a while to do it. And I was really nervous about it. And I was like, what are people going to think? People are going to see me. People that I know are going to see me. People from my hometown are going to see me. And ultimately, like, that's good. You know, why is that bad? It's a good thing. And nobody we meet is like we don't come into contact with people by accident. Come on. Are you kidding me? There are literally no accidents in creation. What to speak of your own life, bro? You know? Like, I'm honored to have met everybody I've ever met in my life. I love everybody that I have ever met, ever. Like, I hope and pray that my existence helps them in some way, or that they can take from me in some way. Like, I wish to be taken from in that way. I have to be careful what I say, but I wish to be a help, basically, you know. So yeah, that's why I never get mad when people copy me or anything. I'm like, yeah, like, yay. That's good. I hope that, you know, I'm glad that you liked it, you know. Like, that's just how I am. I don't know. I wasn't always like this. I think when life really like puts you through the ringer, like, you become like that, because you're like just you know, happy with being received, because your existence is making a difference. It's like I have the option to either make a difference or to not make a difference, and so which one am I gonna choose, you know? It's like I might as well not even be alive if I'm not impacting people. Like, that's just how I think personally. Obviously, that's quite, you know, intense, and I wouldn't expect anybody else to think that way, but, you know, that's how I think. Like, every time I post a singing video, I think to myself, when I die, this is gonna be here, you know, and people hopefully can, I don't know, find courage to sing from me, you know, or they can enjoy it or something. Anything, you know. Whatever, you know. So, yeah, that's just how I think. And there was a time I couldn't do any of this stuff, so maybe that's why I think this way. But more on that later. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast session. It was really fun to talk to you guys. I'm wiped out because I have had meetings all day, and now I'm yapping to you guys so you can hear it in my voice. I've also been doing this thing recently where, well, number one, I just want to say briefly that I'm realizing that each podcast I post is different, and each audio I post is different, which I love. Number one. Number two, I've been doing this thing recently where I sleep so late and I wake up so early. Like, at ungodly hours, like 6 a.m. That's, like, ungodly. Like, who's up at 6 a.m.? The birds are, like, literally not even up where I live. Like, they get up at 10. Like, I'll be up. I would have had my coffee, gotten some work done, and then I can, like, see them, like, just starting to, like, chirp and stuff, you know? It's insane. But, yeah. Another thing as well, when I sing, briefly, when I sing, they sing back. It's crazy. Try singing, like, outside, or, like, leave a window open and sing. Like, the birds, if there are birds near you, they'll either start singing, or if there are no birds near you, they'll come to you. Like, literally, because they see you as family. And they'll fly to you. I'm telling you, try it. You know, why not? I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. I have to go pass out. If you like this audio, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, write me a comment saying what was your favorite part. I want to know what was your most what was the most like valuable part of this podcast for you? What did you enjoy the most? What did something spark inspiration within you? Was it a new idea? Was it something you could maybe see yourself doing? Was it a feeling of joy? Was it something that you would want to practice in the future for yourself? Let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.